Hi, I'm Danny Lipford.
And I'm Chelsea Lipford-Wolf.
Thanks for watching this episode of Today's Homeowner here on YouTube. And don't forget to leave us a like and a comment.
And be sure to share with a friend, subscribe, and hit the bell icon so you get notified of new videos.
Thanks and enjoy the show. This week on Today's Homeowner, we're helping a family win the battle in their home with moisture and mold.
By approaching it with a little technology and finding out where it's flowing down from, that's the way to find a leak.
Tim and Susan Fitzhugh share this home with their two children, Caroline and Will, and the family pet, Sugar.
We've had a few issues since we built the house, and those are moisture in the ceiling and in the master bathroom.
When there's moisture where it shouldn't be in a home, mold and mildew will quickly follow. So we're here to help solve the moisture problems and stop the mold.
We had the shower replaced at one point.
Oh, this isn't the original?
This is not the original. It originally, when we built the house 15 years ago, we had tiles.
Oh.
And we thought they were leaking from the wall, basically. But we have moisture all at the bottom. You can see.
I can see that right in there.
Certainly. And around the wall, we also have it on the trim. And we've had this replaced.
And then it slowly started leaking again? You started noticing some signs?
It has come back since then. And on the other side of the shower and a little hallway leading to our bedroom, there's a lot of moisture down at the bottom also.
So when they replaced it, of course, you went back with the cultured marble, which is a great option. And the pan there looks like cultured marble. Was that replaced?
No, the pan is original.
Oh, is it?
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
So we just had the walls replaced.
So they didn't have to get into the drain and all of that kind of thing. Okay, that's something we've got to look at really, really close. And I see there's a little bit of cover up that's been done there at some point.
I've tried to spray it with some of the spray paint,
Like
the
stain
water.
blocker and all?
Yes.
Yeah.
And it didn't quite match.
Real problem with that in here. We, every couple of 3 weeks, probably get up with with Clorox on a rag and try to minimize the mildews.
And try to keep the fan going, which we have in the water closet.
Oh, so you don't have one in this area?
No.
Not at all.
Oh, okay. Yeah, because the thing is with the header over the door, that's a lot of work that fan has to do. And it may be sized only for that size room. So that
Exactly.
we know right away that can help a lot by maybe just replacing that with a fan light unit. So any other moisture in the house?
We do. We have more of a roofing issue in my daughter's bedroom
I see.
rather than a plumbing issue.
Recently, we had some metal roofers come out, and they said that it was time for a new roof. Which was concerning because we bought the metal roof at a much higher price, so it would last us 30 or 40 years.
So we'll need to look up there as well, see what we can find out. We may find some debris up there. You got a lot of trees around here.
There
all
are.
these pecan trees, yes.
All right, well that's got plenty for us to do. Since we like to start at the top, Alan and I decide to tackle the roof leak first. It looked like Tim had a pretty good idea where that leak was up on that roof, so I bet there's some leaves up there that we're gonna need to clean off.
Well, while you're cleaning off, why don't I trim some branches?
That's good, yeah, be a
By the way.
landscaper up on the roof
Will
there.
help you.
The place where the roof is leaking has 3 steep planes dumping in to a more shallow pitched area, so it collects a lot of leaves and debris.
So Tim, you okay if I'm cutting down back to here?
Oh, yes, please.
All right.
Go ahead, cut it. Once we trim back the crepe myrtle tree and clean the leaves off the roof, we can get a better look at the problem.
When it first happened, the first leak we saw came in somewhere in this area right here, and as it progressed, it seemed to move somewhere in this area.
Well, not to pick on you, but the leaves probably contributed to that a lot. But still, it's so hard to get up here and clean this off. But what about the old water test? You volunteer to go in the attic again?
He does this to me, Tim. Anywhere we go, I'm in the attic. So
perfect. All
I'll
right,
go
that
in the
worked out-
attic,
That worked
yeah.
out pretty well for us. It's probably cooler in there than it is out here. But we'll spray around and see if we can identify exactly where it's coming in, put a little extra there. But either way, we got plenty of caulk to take care of all of this.
Okay, great, thank you.
So Alan and I can communicate while he's in the attic. We set up a FaceTime call. All right, Alan, I'm gonna start right at the very bottom of the valley and start spraying, and then I'm gonna move up on the right side as I'm facing up on the side closest to the front door.
Okay, I'm waiting for water.
Okay, I'm going up the side towards the door now.
Okay.
And in the middle, right in the middle, there's a little flap there.
How about go to where you've got 3 roof slopes converging? Where all 3 slopes come together?
Yeah, I'm doing that. The water's cooling us down out here. It feels good out here.
Oh, I'm so happy to hear that. I really am.
The very first thing you need to do when you bring home a new can of paint is pry off the lid, then use a paper towel or rags to clean paint off the bottom of the lid, as I did here. The reason is when they shake the can of paint at the store to blend the colors, that's great, except what happens if you don't clean off the paint, this is what you end up with. The paint drips from the underside of the lid, it hardens, and then these little chips fall off in the paint. Then the next time you go to paint, those little chips end up on the wall or the ceiling, and you want to avoid that. So after you clean off the lid and before you replace it, use a plastic bag to cover the can. So cover the entire rim of the can with the plastic bag, then put on the lid. Now the plastic bag serves 3 purposes. First, it helps seal out air so the paint will stay fresher. It keeps paint from getting on the underside of the lid so you don't have to keep cleaning it. But more importantly, it makes it a lot easier to remove the lid next time you go to paint.
This week, we're helping homeowners Tim and Susan battle unwanted moisture and mold.
Every couple years, we have some roofers, some metal specialists, roofing specialists come out and take a look at it, and we'll pay them $500 or $1,000 to patch it. And basically, it's just a Band-Aid over the years. It's never been fixed for longer than a couple years.
Right now, Tim and I are on the roof trying to recreate the roof leak while Alan looks for signs of water in the attic.
I got water. I got water.
You got water?
Yep, right there, right there, whatever you just did. Can you see the water trickling down now? And it's not trickling, it's pouring.
Now I can. Yeah, I'm right on a ridge. I can see exactly where it's coming in. Okay, well, we'll let this dry and we'll see how Tim can do on a caulk gun.
All right, sounds good to me.
All right, get out of the attic. With a little help from a leaf blower and plenty of sunshine, the roof is dry in no time.
That's a big hole, right?
Yeah, and I think that's one of the problems, because probably this was a 12-inch piece of flashing, went up about that high, so when the debris gets in here and that water ponds and kind of dams it up on there, it goes right over. That's what happened when we sprayed that up there. This sealant, made by Titebond, is designed specifically for metal roof applications, so it will adhere well and remain flexible as the roofing expands and contracts with changes in temperature.
It was surprising to see what a small area had to be covered that was the root of the cause for the leak.
So many times when architects or draftsmen are drawing a plan, they're drawing it to make it look good. This house does look good, but it's not designed for an area of the country like this. It gets a lot of rain. The design will always be a problem and will require a heck of a lot of maintenance to keep the leaves off the flatter area of the house, or it'll always be leaking. Inside, Alan is getting the scoop on the shower leak from Susan.
We are so very frustrated to find out where the water is actually coming from. We've had it fixed several times, and we still have leaks and mold and mildew.
Well, what we're going to do, we're going to treat this just like we did the roof. We're going to give it a water test to find out exactly where that water's coming from.
Have you told her everything we're going to do?
No, I thought I'd leave that up to you.
I can take care of that. Okay, so we're going to do the water test. We're going to be able to determine that, but you're probably thinking, how are we going to see the water? Well, Alan's taking a piece of baseboard off on the back wall where you have that damage there.
Yes.
And we have this cool little inspection camera. We're going to run right along that baseboard. We're going to make it leak. He's going to see where it's leaking, and then we're going to fix it.
So if we've got a leak, we should see water starting to seep this way and actually running in this direction. All right, you can turn the water on.
Don't get
We're
wet.
not used to doing that when
No,
you're not in
I'm
there.
not.
Okay, so just keep it right. Just go around in a circle right on the base there. Might take a little while for it to build up. And
Yeah. You know what? The kids like to, when we bathe in here, like to put a wash rag down there. We literally stop it up. The kids' favorite thing is to stop it up and make it like a bath in here. And we fill it up all the time, you know, up to the edge, basically. He has water.
He does? He found some water?
He has water, but he doesn't think it's coming from the drain.
Huh.
All right, you can see the water. See how it's dark right here? We got water seeping.
Yes.
Now, if it was coming from under the pan, that's one thing. But if you look up here on the
Moisture.
plate line, it's coming up here. Now, watch as I tilt the camera up. And I go to the insulation. Do you see there's a drop
water.
right there? And
Now, I sprayed on the excussion of the valve.
You did spray the
Sprayed
excussion?
all around the excussion.
See that drop of water right there? It's coming down on the insulation.
Most likely, where it goes up to the shower head, it could be leaking in the wall from up there.
And we just changed out the shower head and had to twist the pipe coming from the wall.
Maybe we take the shower head off and the extension plug it, and that'll eliminate the possibility that it's that leak.
You know, saw courses are great to have around, say, your house for creating a platform if you're hanging wallpaper or out on the job site to hold your tools. But sometimes you need more than a sawhorse. You might actually need a workhorse, and this is the Workhorse by Husky. Let me just tell you right off the bat, this is a pretty strong and powerful workhorse because it can hold up to 1,000 pounds on this surface alone. I like this foundation here at the top because if I'm cutting 2x4s or if I want to hold a 3/4 inch piece of plywood, I've got good support. I can clamp my clamp right here to hold that piece of plywood into place. Also, take a look at this little design here along the legs. This isn't just for decoration. If you're by yourself and you need to hold that 2x4 in place, all you gotta do is slide it through this top slot and it's secure enough for you to then go ahead and cut it. Or what you can do is you can create a work surface or say a storage surface down below by running 2x4s on either side here and attaching it to the other workhorse, and now you have a nice little platform that you can store your tools. So, if you're in the market for sawhorses, why don't you think about getting a workhorse instead, because you can get a lot more work done for sure.
Tim and Susan Fitzhugh have been fighting with moisture in their home for 15 years. We've just corrected a roof leak, and now we're looking for the source of water seeping into the walls around their shower.
By approaching it with a little technology, getting that inspection camera inside a wall while the water's rolling and finding out where it's flowing down from, that's the way to find a leak.
So far, we've eliminated the shower pan as the source of the leak because we see water in the wall above it. Now we're looking more closely at the pipe that supplies water from the shower valve to the shower head.
I need some shampoo in here.
I'm not seeing any moisture or anything right there.
This shower head is adjustable, so we can simply close it off instead of removing and capping it.
Okay, that puts a lot more pressure on it by doing that, stifling it in the shower head.
Still, there's no leak, so we remove the trim plate around the shower valve to see if the material behind it is wet. Well, once we took the trim plate off of the valve, you could tell there was something going on. There was plumber's putty, there was silicone, there was the original foam cover there. Something just wasn't right, and it just didn't seem to be fitting against the wall properly.
All right, well, I'll tell you what I'm gonna do. I'm just gonna splash this water up into the hole where the excussion covered and see if it tracks down in the same place.
Yep, that's it. Follow the same path. It's coming down now.
Once the leak is identified, the fix is simple. Clean off the shower wall and replace the trim plate with a new one, including a brand new gasket to seal it to the wall. To kill the mold that's already present, we're applying a mold and mildew cleaner. This one from Wet and Forget not only will kill the mold and mildew, it also inhibits the regrowth. Plus, it's a disinfectant, so it kills bacteria as well. 10 minutes after it's applied, you simply wipe the surface dry. Now, to deal with that multicolored ceiling.
All right, you ready to get started on some painting?
Sounds good.
Okay, I've already sprayed all of the mold and everything that I could find on the ceiling. Even found some back over here, and also sprayed all of it on the top of the cultured marble. I'll go ahead and finish cleaning that if you want to get started on the taping. Now, I know you're a really good painter and don't even need any tape, but this will keep it keep it off the walls.
To get the moisture out of the bathroom, we've got to do something more than that one small fan that's only in the water closet. So we're going to have to add more ventilation in that bathroom.
Well, so many people, have a lot of problems with mold and mildew in their bathroom, whether it's obvious or not, because they're simply not moving enough air through the bathroom and exhausting it all the way to the outside. So knowing that walking in, we know that it's going to make a big difference in putting a sufficient size fan where the basic part of moisture is, right over the shower. In this case, there's already a recessed light fixture here, so I'm setting the fan housing over it and tracing the outline before cutting the hole for the fan housing. Since the fan needs to operate independently of the lights, we're also installing a new switch box on an adjacent wall. The fan we're installing here is made by Braun, and it not only includes a light, but also a humidity sensor. That means when the humidity rises in the bathroom, the fan will turn itself on, whether Tim and Susan remember to hit the switch or not.
Okay, you can go ahead and flip it on. There you go.
To get the most out of this new fan, we're using 6-inch metal duct running straight from the fan housing to the gable wall, where we've installed a vent to the outside.
Ideally, it'd be great to go straight up. I hate cutting into a metal roof, though. And the fact that we were only maybe 12 feet away from the gable of this house, it just made more sense to make a sidewall vent there.
The existing fan in the water closet uses a 4-inch vent pipe, but it was never connected to the outside, which created a bad situation.
It's this beautiful white insulation up there, and this pile of black gunk all over it where the moisture has been getting all over this insulation. Mold is growing in there. I mean, all of this from moisture that was just pumping in the attic when there was enough vent line to go to the sidewall. Go figure.
We're solving that by adding a second vent in the gable so we can connect the old fan to it. This kind of moisture problem in attics is not uncommon, so we try to use stone wool insulation when we can. Stone wool, like this material from Roxol, repels water, so even if it's exposed to moisture, it dries quickly and won't slump or lose its R value like other materials. And because stone wool is inert, it won't contribute to mold or fungal growth. Now back in the bathroom, Tim and Susan are trying to find their groove as painters.
This is how we do it. You do it and I redo it. Ooh.
Well, we always ask homeowners if they painted before, and most all of them say yes, but you never know to what degree. I think maybe she painted a little bit more than he has. People who have asphalt shingle roofs often want to know how to tell when the roof needs to be replaced. Asphalt shingles are the most common type of roofing in the U.S. because they are effective and relatively inexpensive, but they do have a finite lifespan. When these shingles become brittle, the chances of the roof failing go way up. To test this, bend one of the tabs back with your hand. If it bends with a gentle curve, it still has some flexibility and probably lots of life left. If it creases or breaks, it's brittle and could easily snap off in a stiff wind. If the problem is confined to just a few shingles, you can replace them yourself without replacing the entire roof. Simply pry up the damaged shingle with a flat bar to remove the nails near each of the slots between tabs. You'll have to do the same with the row above it as well, since those nails go through both shingles. Replace the damaged shingle with a new one of similar color and style before you drive new nails in the same location. Finally, apply some roofing cement between the rows to hold the bottom of each tab in place. The kind of problems we found with moisture and mold at Tim and Susan's house are more common than you might think.
I think we feel like we have some resolution and some closure on things, which is fantastic. And I feel like if the situation was to occur again, that we have enough experience that we will be well equipped to correct it ourselves. I guess it just really it shows you how having a different set of eyes on an issue can really help.
And don't look over the small things, in the shower, just caulking. And, to think that makes that big of a difference. We really needed that fan to help with all the humidity.
I know it'll be nice not to take a shower and look up and see the mold that needs to be cleaned.
Yes.
You can see that what we did here wasn't expensive, just a little time consuming. And while you may not be an expert on all the materials and systems in your home, you can educate yourself, ask lots of questions, and research the answers you get. Whether you fix it yourself or hire someone, you stand a much better chance of solving the problem if you understand it first. Well, what a great family to work with, but a family that was having a few problems with a house that they love. This house is 15 years old, and they've been having problems all along with that roof leak. Well, Tim knows exactly where the leak was happening at and exactly what to do to repair it. Now, the bathroom shower stall, been leaking for 15 years. Even though they spent $3,000 to have it repaired one time, well, they're very happy now that we found the leak. And we'll be finding some other problems and solving them next week, right here on Today's Homeowner. I'm Danny Lipford. We'll see you then.
I think it's great. You're on my nose.
It's on you now. Now you're
Sorry.
Thanks for watching this episode of Today's Homeowner. And don't forget to like, comment, and hit the bell icon so that you'll be notified of new videos.
And be sure to click around and watch some more videos while you're here.